Okay, we're going to talk about the Archive tab found within the main menu of Vizrt Artist 4.0. The Archive tab will allow us to export anything we've done in Vizrt Artist to a .via file in which we can use in any other Vizrt Artist or import into other systems. So when we click on the Archive tab, basically it changes our user interface here. Now we have two windows over here revealing the server on the left and the archive on the right. One of the main advantages of archiving a scene is that you can take everything with it. So here you can see we have a scene design. If we double click it, it just has a lower third and an OTS box, so we can go ahead and hit play, and there's a little animation on it as well. Now let's say I want to export this or save this file, and we can do that through the Archive tab. So I'm going to go ahead and click Archive, and I'm going to just drag this over into the Archive window here. And now what it does is creates a little thumbnail there, and if we archive a scene, it's going to take everything with it. That means it's going to take the pictures, the images, the materials, the animation, basically everything. So we could export this standalone as it is, but if we wanted to also add some other elements in there, we could add other things from our server database into the archive as well. Or we could do a completely separate archive for other elements, images, fonts, etc. So if I wanted to add a couple of groups in here or objects that we made within Vizrt, I can. If I want to take any of our materials, I can also take that, and or any images that I may want to take as well. Now if you are archiving the scene, again, it's going to do this automatically, but for demonstration purposes or just showing how any element that you have within your server here can be added to an archive. So I've got one of each here: a scene, an image, a material, a font, a group, or an object. So then I'm going to come down here to the bottom and click on the little browse button to navigate to where I want to save this archive. So I just want to navigate to any drive that I want, any local drive or network drive we can save it to. And you'll also want to give it a name here. So we'll just call it new archive, and we'll hit save. And there it prompts you, it tells you the new archive.via was created. So if we go back into our scene here, we'll go back into our default interface. I'm just going to go ahead and delete this whole scene there because we have archived it. Now I'm going to go into the import tab and re-import that particular archive that we just made. So I'm going to make my archive, make my drop down here, make sure it's set to archives. I'm going to navigate to the folder where I saved it, and here you can see the new archive. If I click on it, it shows you each thing that we drug in there. Now I can just take this scene and drag it over, and now it prompts us to replace anything that may already be within the server. So I'm just going to go ahead and hit never in this case because we know they're already in there. And if I come back into my scene here we now have our live scene back, and it still contains all the elements and the animations. So the archive allows us to export anything that we need to get out of Vizrt and save it into the .via file format.